Hey there, you know, Google rank tracking and AI visibility tracking in ChatGPT and Gemini doesn't have to cost $100, $200 a month. Let me show you how you can use Google Sheets to do it for a fraction of the cost. So by way of example, we're looking at the Ahrefs pricing page here. Their cheapest pay monthly plan is the Lite plan at $129, which allows you to track 750 keywords and 5 prompts. And then SEMrush, their cheapest plan that allows you to track both SEO visibility and AI visibility is the starter plan at $199 a month, which allows you to track 500 keywords and 50 prompts. So those aren't cheap and can be difficult to justify for a small or medium-sized business who just needs basic tracking, which is why we created the GSheets SEO and GEO Tracker. So for example, with this Google Sheet, you could track 100 keywords in Google and 100 prompts in Google AIO, Gemini, and ChatGPT. And if you track those on a weekly basis, the price for that would be about $5.60 per month. And the reason that we can do that is the GSheets SEO and GEO Tracker connects here to DataForSEO. So DataForSEO is a data provider. They provide features or functions very similar to Ahrefs and SEMrush, Google tracking, AI tracking, keyword research tools. But the thing is that DataForSEO has no UI. You can't log in and use the features on the website. You can only access the features via API. And they have a really cool commercial model, which is basically pay as you go. Which is how we can build a Google Sheet which connects to DataForSEO, and we're able to control our costs for Google and AI tracking and keep the costs down and much more accessible for small and medium-sized businesses. So when you buy the sheet, you pay a one-off price for the Google Sheet, and then you connect it to your DataForSEO account and pay monthly to DataForSEO based on your actual usage. When you do buy the sheet, you'll get a link to a page where you can make a copy of the sheet for your own use, and it all has all the instructions, including a detailed setup video on how to connect to DataForSEO and add everything. But I'm going to show you the settings real quick right now, just so you can see what it's about. You enter your DataForSEO username and password. By the way, that is stored locally. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't get stored on any servers. That's stored locally on your machine, so it's secure. And we don't get in the way of that. So we have no ongoing commercial relationship with DataForSEO. You have that relationship directly, so you pay them directly. You also, in the settings, choose your location and language. And then the two settings which allow you to control costs are the tracking frequency and the tracking depth. So the tracking frequency, in this case for this demo, which is real data, I'm tracking daily. But you can also choose to track weekly or even monthly. And this is where you can really keep the costs down. That example I gave you before of $5.60 per month for 100 keywords and 100 prompts was assuming a weekly tracking and assuming a tracking depth of top 20. So checking just the top 20 results on Google. You can also check deeper if you want, up to the top 50, top 5 pages of Google. The point being that every page on Google that you check is an additional API call. Each API call here costs 1/5 of a cent for one keyword, one call for one page. So if you're checking the top 20, it costs you 2/5 of a cent, so less than half a cent for each keyword on whatever frequency you're doing it. And so this is another way that you can control costs. You can check up the top 5 pages if you want. I think a real sweet spot, honestly, is top 20 weekly. That gives you, for most companies, gives enough visibility into SEO and AI platforms. Of course, you also enter your domain. That's how we know which website to track in Google and for citations on AI platforms. And you enter your brand as well, which is how we're able to track brand mentions in ChatGPT and Gemini. So this is the dashboard where you'll probably spend most of your time. But before I explain what we're looking at here, I very quickly want to explain how the rank tracking works. So this is the SEO rank tracker sheet, a list of keywords here. the average monthly search volume. Each keyword is tagged as either brand, so in this case it's Pinnacle Life is the brand we're tracking. And just FYI, I have nothing to do with Pinnacle Life. It's just a website I decided to use for this demo. And then non-brand keywords as well, so generic life insurance related keywords in this case. You've got your current rank, previous rank, rank change, current ranking URL, all the usual stuff you would expect to see in a rank tracking tool. You can add or remove keywords from here at any time, and next time the tool runs, checks rankings, it will just reflect those updates or changes that you've made. The tool also comes with a very handy keyword research tool. So you can come over here if you need to find what keywords you want to start tracking. You can use the keyword suggestion tool. If I enter life insurance here, better spell that right, life insurance, and look up keywords, it's going to go away and find a bunch of keywords. So this is basically a phrase match keyword lookup tool. It looks up the keywords, it provides the average monthly search volume in the market that you chose, of course, and it tags it as either brand or non-brand, because keeping in mind, we know the brand because you entered that into the settings. And so here, for example, it's tagged this Pinnacle Life Insurance term correctly as a brand term. So you can select any of these keywords and copy selected keywords to Tracker. They'll automatically be copied across here. I'm not going to do that right now because I already have my keywords, but that's how you can very easily add keywords to the Tracker. The tool does have a couple of other modes as well. So you can also search for broad keyword ideas, which will find not just phrase match related keywords, but a wider variety of keywords, which might be useful. Or you can enter the ranked keywords mode, where you enter a URL, and it could be any URL, including competitor URLs, and the tool will find keywords that that page ranks for. If you enter a domain, it will find keywords that the domain ranks for. So yeah, pretty useful way to find out what your competitors are ranking for. And then for the GEO visibility, we have a list of prompts. These are the kind of questions, queries that people are asking in ChatGPT and Gemini. And for each of these, we show whether or not your brand is mentioned and whether or not your website is cited. It also does Google AIO as well. And of course, Google AI Overview is not always triggered. So in some cases, it will say null. But where there was an overview, an AI overview, it will tell you whether or not you are mentioned and or cited. And we also have a research tool for prompts as well. And that has two modes. So whether you're a brand / product or you're a local service business, there are two different modes here. And for each mode, there is a different set of inputs. So in the case of the life insurance example, I'm going to enter life insurance here as my product. Features consumers are looking for, let's say term, as in term life insurance. I can't think of any use cases. And competitor, let's enter Fidelity. I know that's a local competitor. And you'll see here that it's created a list of seed searches. So when I click prompt, look up prompts, it's going to go away and find keyword prompts and queries related to these seeds. So let's do that real quick, and I'll pause while that's running in the background. Okay, so that's finished running. It looked up, used 6 different seed searches and has found a bunch of questions, queries, prompts, the kind of thing people are most likely asking on ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. And so again, I can select the ones I like and copy those prompts to the GEO rank tracker, and so they'll automatically be copied across here. If I want to, I can also just copy and paste any prompts that I've found or researched or come up with however I like. I can add those to this list at any time as well. So let's close that down and go back to our dashboard and finish up by talking about what we're looking at here. So this is probably where you'll spend most of your time once you've got your keywords and your prompts set up. This is time series data, so showing you how your website is performing, how visible it is over time, both in Google and AI platforms. So the SEO visibility score, you can see we have an overall SEO visibility score. This is calculated based on your rankings for the tracked keywords and weighted by search volume. And this is also then broken out by brand visibility for your brand terms and non-brand visibility. So in this case, you can see that the company in question, Pinnacle Life, has pretty good brand visibility, not unsurprisingly, but their non-brand visibility is much lower. And because the non-brand term life insurance is super popular, massive search volume for that, it weights the overall SEO visibility score much lower because they don't rank on page 1 for that particular term. They did, but they've dropped just recently. For SEO, we also provide the keyword distribution. So the number of keywords, positions 1 to 3, 4 to 10, 11 to 12, 11 to 20, and then pages 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well, if we were tracking that deep. In this case, we're not. For GEO visibility, we calculate an overall score for visibility across Google AI Overviews, ChatGPT, and Gemini, and that is based on both mentions and citations, and we actually weight citations a bit higher in the overall calculation with the idea that a link is even more valuable. So that's how we get the GEO visibility score. But the dashboard also breaks it out so that you can see the percentage of tracked prompts that scored you a mention and or a citation for all 3 platforms as well. And so you can see there's quite a bit of volatility there in this case. So that's how the GSheets SEO and GEO Tracker works. I hope that I've demonstrated how it's able to provide basic SEO and AI visibility tracking at a really cost-effective way. Certainly a lot cheaper than Ahrefs and SEMrush. And to be clear, massive fan of both of those platforms. We use SEMrush in particular every day in our agency here with all of our clients. And if you're a large organization, you have an SEO team, SEO is a critical part of your business, you absolutely need to have SEMrush or Ahrefs. There's no question. But if you're a small or medium-sized company and don't need that granular level of visibility or those advanced tools, then the GSheets SEO and GEO Tracker, I think, could be a really good option for you. Not very expensive to buy the sheet and then connect it to DataForSEO, and you'll save a whole lot in tracking costs on an ongoing basis. If you're watching this on Gumroad, there'll be a link around here somewhere to buy now. If you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, there'll be a link around here somewhere to the Gumroad page. Thanks for watching. I hope you buy it. And if you've got any questions, feel free to drop a comment below wherever you're watching this video, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you've got. Cheers.